Welcome back to another episode of the show. I'm your host, David Womack. Now let's dive straight into some TV and movie news. In our first bit of news, it looks like Wonka took over the box office weekend. Wonka once again took the number one spot at the domestic box office with 23.9 million and knocked Aquaman The Lost Kingdom, which brought in 19.5 million to second place. In third, Migration sold about 17.2 million in tickets. So this is the last box office weekend for 2023. You know, that's pretty much old news, and honestly, I'm looking forward to what 2024 has to offer. The comic book adventure starring Jason Momoa as the King of Atlantis was positioned on the calendar as a de facto blockbuster for the holiday season. But so far, the follow-up to the 2018 mega hit Aquaman has failed to recapture the spark of the original. The $205 million budgeted tentpole caps off 2023 as a terrible year for superhero movies. As the fourth consecutive flop for Warner Brothers and DC Studios, The Flash, Shazam, Fury of Gods, and Blue Beetle. The Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom swam to second place in its sophomore outing, collecting a soft 19.5 million over the weekend. It's important to note that it has grossed 84 million domestically and 250 million globally. Audience instead chose to ring in the 2024 New Year with Wonka, which reclaimed the top spot on domestic box office charts with 23.9 million over the weekend, and estimated 31 million through New Year's Day. The fantasy musical led by Timothée Chalamet as an eccentric chocolatier Willy Wonka has continued to impress the box office with 142 million domestically and 386 million worldwide. With a budget of about 100 million, Wonka pretty much blew that budget out of the water. They recouped all of their money. And, starting off the new year in pretty good shape. So, cheers to the team at Wonka, and cheers to everyone performing well at the box office this weekend. In our next bit of news, Acme versus the Coyote, the movie, the first image finally leaked, and it's what you've all been waiting for. Wile E Coyote heads to court in first Coyote versus Acme image. After being shelved by Warner Brothers, the movie is seeing a 2024 release date. After a hectic production that saw its abandonment and subsequent resurrection, the upcoming film Coyote vs. Acme unveiled its first image on New Year's Eve. The image comes courtesy of voice actor Eric Buzma, who plays the titular Wile E. Coyote in the movie, directed by Dave Green. It shows a 2D animated Wile E. Coyote in court, accompanied by his lawyer, played by Will Forte. In the seat directly behind them sits a character played by Lana Condor. John Cena is reportedly playing the villain. This live-action animated hybrid movie follows the titular character in his legal tussle against the Acme Corporation. After one of their products backfires on him in his lifelong pursuit of Roadrunner, Forte plays his lawyer while Cena plays the boss of the conglomerate. This mashup between cartoons and live action, it might give you some reminiscences of what Barbie did, but I've been a huge fan of Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner for decades at this point. I'm pretty excited about this movie. Let me know in the comments down below of your memories with Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner. Let's see what you guys have to say. In our next bit of news, Tom Wilkinson, star of Batman Begins, The Full Monty, dies at age 75. Tom Wilkinson, known for playing Carmine Falcone in Batman Begins and Gerald in The Full Monty, died suddenly at home. Recognized for his roles in iconic films such as The Full Monty, Batman Begins, The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel, passed away unexpectedly at the age of 75. In a statement released, his family talks about his life and what kind of happened towards the end of it. It was revealed that he died suddenly at home on Saturday, as per the BBC. In a statement from the family, it is with great sadness that the family of Tom Wilkinson announced that he died suddenly at home on December 30th. His wife and family were with him. The family asked for privacy at this time. Wilkinson's expansive career traveled over 130 roles. in film and television, showcasing his adaptability in the range of genres from period pieces like Sense and Sensibility to action comedies such as Rush Hour. He was also lauded as his portrayal of historic figures, winning an Emmy for his role as Benjamin Franklin and John Adams, and earning critical acclaim as John F. Kennedy's father in The Kennedys. To further show his range, Wilkinson even entered the comic book arena, playing Carmine Falcone in Christopher Nolan's Batman Begins, where he came up against Christian Bale's Dark Knight. He is survived by his wife, Diana Hardcastle, and their 2 daughters, leaving behind a legacy of memorable performances and contribution to the arts. Now, Wilkinson was born in England, but, if you guys really want to deep dive into his life, I'll link it in the description down below. Just let me know. And, let's talk about it in the comments. Now, next bit of news, Val Kilmer shares this nostalgic video of one of his greatest roles, and I think one of the best movies of all time. Val Kilmer shared a behind-the-scenes video to celebrate a 30th anniversary of his most beloved role as Doc Holliday in Tombstone. Beloved actor has sent a wave of nostalgia across cyberspace by sharing that video. It's marking the 30th anniversary of his Western movie Tombstone, led by Kurt Russell and featuring an ensemble cast. The movie was loosely based on the story of Wyatt Earp, who comes out of retirement to bring order back to the lawlessness of his hometown. In 1993, Kilmer played Doc Holliday, and many fans believed that he was robbed of an Oscar for his performance. However, as the 30th anniversary arrived, Kilmer seemed more than happy to just celebrate Tombstone's milestone anniversary. Tombstone was a huge box office success at the time of release, making over $73 million on the back of $25 million budget. Opening in 3rd place in that Christmas chart at the US box office behind Julia Roberts' movie The Pelican Brief and Robin Williams' hit Mrs. Doubtfire. Tombstone went on to see an increase in revenue on its second weekend and become the 20th highest grossing movie of 1993. When it comes to Val Kilmer's portrayal of Doc Holliday, I thought he blew the role out of the water. I mean, when you think about what he did for acting at that time, that's pretty huge. And, that role, I remember that movie like it was yesterday. While a lot of the actors found their popularity waning over the years, Val Kilmer is not one of them. Now, Val Kilmer in the recent years has been battling throat cancer. So, reach out and, speak with the Kilmer family if you can. Best wishes to the Kilmer family. In our next bit of news, the 1998 Godzilla movie, it's pretty much getting redeemed all across the internet right now. A VFX artist reacts to the 1998 American Godzilla remake, saying the critically unsuccessful movie is redeemed by CGI that's ahead of its time. Somewhat redeemed the movie. The original American reimaging of the famous kaiju was headed by director Ronald Emmerich, who adapted the monster for a New York City setting when it was released. The movie was criticized for drastically altering the titular monster's design while not staying true to the themes of the Japanese franchise. So the Corridor Crew is a YouTube channel. Go and check that out if you guys want to know more about that story. But I want to talk about why was Godzilla, not critically acclaimed anyway? Why Godzilla 1998 doesn't have that positive reputation? Many of Godzilla's special effects were impressive for its time, presenting a monster movie that relied heavily on CGI. Godzilla 1998 was criticized for a few things, but, I guess now it's getting redeemed for some of those criticisms. But, it's a good movie. If you haven't watched it, go and check it out. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about Godzilla 1998, of course. In our last bit of news, this weekend is looking pretty good for the box office. I'm going to be honest with you. Night Swim, horror thriller. A woman swimming in her pool at night is terrorized by an evil spirit. January 5th. Memory. Starring Jessica Chastain, Sylvia is a social worker who leads a simple and structured life. This is blown open by a Sal follows her home from their high school reunion. Their surprise encounter will profoundly impact both of them as they open the door to the past. There's no real synopsis on this particular movie that, anybody really has, so it's kind of one of those sleeper hits. I'm expecting it to be really good for this weekend. Weak Layers. Three party-loving best friends set out to win a ski movie competition, an uproarious comedy that takes on the male-dominated ski industry. It sounds like it'll be a pretty funny comedy to watch in theaters. So it looks like this weekend will be pretty busy at the movie theaters. So, I'm excited to see probably Memory the most out of the bunch, but we'll see you at the theaters. Now that's all the TV and movie news we have for today. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button just so you won't miss out on the latest TV and movie news stories. Also hit that like button, let the algorithm know that we're here and we're here to stay. As always, have a great day, everyone.